Hello, everyone. Welcome to Small Biz Tips. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was scrolling LinkedIn and I started seeing this girl posting. I'm like, who is this? So I checked out her site. I checked out what she was doing. I'm like, ooh, this is good. I gotta have her on the pod. What's going on, Bree?
How's it going? I love that. I love that that was the energy that you got
Thank
from Jem Social.
you. Let's go. Let's go. So before we start, right? Who is Bree?
Who am I?
Mm.
Wow. I love that question because so many people ask me what my business is, and it's like, oh my God, did y'all forget I'm a person? Like, so Bree, I am a tech entrepreneur, real estate
Mhm.
investor, and DJ. And that's the whole reason why I started Gem because I saw how hard it was to find opportunities as a DJ. It's easy
Mm.
to go on the online and find a house, right? And
Mhm.
especially maybe something that's a good price or get investors on board for a project. Not that hard to do. It's also
Mhm.
easy to go on Indeed and get a
Yeah.
job, in any field. But then we get to creators,
Yes.
and it's so hard for them to find gigs. And
Mm.
in an on-demand economy that we're in nowadays with all these other apps, Uber, Lyft, Instacart, TaskRabbit, Thumbtack, I'm like, I just
Yes.
can't believe there's nothing on demand for creators yet. Why hasn't this been filled? So I decided to do it.
I love it. I love it. First, let's talk about this, right? You a DJ?
Yes, I
How'd
was
you
one
get
of the
into
top
that?
DJs in Miami. Yeah, so I actually got into it when I was a kid. I started
Wow.
DJing when I was 16 years old, when I was living in Newcastle, Delaware.
Wow.
And my mom worked at a nonprofit and they needed a DJ constantly. And
Mm-hmm.
I was either at Cinnabon or TGI Fridays at that point. I can't remember which terrible job I was at the time, but I was at something that I just couldn't stand where I was only making like $5 an hour plus tips.
Oh my
And
God.
I saw my homeboy was making money from DJing in high school, making like
Mm.
anywhere from $200 to $500 per gig. And I'm like, you made that in 4 hours, and I'm over here making $5 an hour. I would have to literally work 80 hours to hit that. So I
Mm.
was like, nah, there's something going on here that I need to change. So I asked my mom, I said, Mom, what is the budget for the DJ? Because I know a DJ. She's like, who do you know? And I'm like, funny enough, it's me. But she's like,
I love
Brianna,
it.
she's like, Brianna, get out of my face. I'm like, no, seriously. Christian's been teaching me how to DJ because
That's
he had.
awesome.
He started teaching me. I said, I can do it. I said, Mom, how hard is it going to be to DJ a nonprofit party? Like, it's not. No one needs to dance or anything. It was kind of just like this fall festival type thing. No
Yeah.
one's listening anyways. Everybody's playing games and stuff. I said, just give me a chance. I'll even give you half off. She's like,
Wow.
okay. Okay, that's fine. So I ended up, I think the budget was like 300. I made 150.
Let's
And
go.
I was like, I can do this. This is what I can do throughout high school and college. And
Wow.
I did exactly that. I quit my job. I started getting bookings from DJ because when I got to the festival, I
Hmm.
had got two more gigs. Then those two more gigs led me to other gigs. And they just saw this young, vibrant black girl
That's
DJing,
awesome.
so young, and also was like, okay, we can give her the money because she's actually good.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's how it started. And Delaware is such a tight knit community,
Yeah.
anyways, that that kind of service works very well in these small cities, especially like Delaware, where
Mhm.
we don't have access to these top, you know,
Yeah. Nobody's
websites
going
and
to New
stuff
York or
because
Philly.
nobody yeah, 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 exactly. They're gonna right. So for a gem, that would be a better plug for New York or Philly. It wouldn't be a better plug for a small town yet.
Hmm.
But that's where I started DJing because I was like, hold up, there's a great opportunity here. I'm able to replace what was my income back then with it, and nothing, not for anything, not it was fun. I had a great
That's
time.
awesome. I love this because you were 16, right? You start
16.
thinking differently.
Yep.
And I can see why you're an entrepreneur now. So let's fast forward, when was like that spark idea came and you said, you know what, I want to start
Mm,
Gym Social. What was going on
yeah.
in your mind around that time?
So Gem Social hit me twice.
Oh.
Um, the first time it was 2019.
Mm,
I remember leaving, I was working at a digital marketing agency down in Miami.
mm-hmm.
And I remember calling my cousin at the Shell gas station and was like, you know, I meet like so many creators down here every now and again, but what if there's an app to like really get us connected even more?
Mm,
And he was like, you mean like maybe like if you're like a photographer and like you want to meet a DJ, like, some kind of filter on an app and meet those people? I'm like, yes. What if there was like a Tinder, but for creators? And he was like, that's actually kind of cool because he lives in Jersey. He's like,
yeah,
I would love to meet other like DJs and all that stuff. And I'm like,
yeah.
yeah. So that was my first thing. So I started designing it, went on Fiverr, got me just some regular designs and started talking about my other friends. And here's the first problem. And this is also a tip. Don't talk about things with your friends that don't impact their lives because they don't
Mm,
see the vision. So
no.
I talked about it with some of my friends, but they were corporate, they were already
Mhm.
working, they weren't creators. So for them, they're like, okay, I mean, I guess, but it wasn't like really the hype I was
The energy
probably
you was
looking
looking
for.
for.
So I just kind of had this dormant idea, so I kept it to myself.
Wow.
Then in 2022, now it's a couple of years later, it's post COVID. I actually was dating somebody and we
Mhm.
were in Philly. We were visiting my dad at the time and we were on a bus to New York and I had the idea in my mind again and I was like, man, I really wish I had this idea because I'm on my way to New York right now. I would love to take some photos right in New York, pay
Wow.
someone like $150, and I have no way of doing it because I do not feel like going on Instagram and typing in New York photographer and then trying to figure out their budget and figuring out if they're available
Yeah,
and
it's
all
a pain.
it just it just was too much. And I said this was the whole point of the app. And my girl at the time was like, Bree, why don't you make that? It's a great idea. Like it's
Mm,
really a great idea. She's like, and she's a content creator. She was like, I would have loved if someone hit me up and said, "Hey, I'm coming to New York, and can you take a couple of videos for me, $200?" And I'm like, exactly. Like you
wow.
get the vision. She got it right away. She even helped me create a website that same day.
That's dope.
That same day, we put up a landing page just to start generating some interest.
Huh?
And now, like me and her are in contact, but I always think about that moment because I'm like
Yeah.
someone finally got it and understood it and it hit me. I didn't talk to the right people about it the first time.
Mm,
And had I did that the
mm.
first time, Jem probably could have been out. But
Wow.
no better time than now because I have
Absolutely.
in those 3 years, I've worked at software agencies, I've developed custom software, I've been on product teams, I've been on marketing teams, product
Mhm.
marketing teams. Like I've had those 3 years, I've learned a lot. And Jen probably wouldn't be half of where it's at today if I didn't wait to the time that I did.
It's funny you said that because first you found the right person, but you guys didn't just ponder about it like a lot of people do when they got a new idea. You
Right.
guys execute right away, right?
Yeah.
Put a landing
Yep.
page, kind of like a wait list or something to
Yep.
gauge interest. What when you
Exactly.
did that, did people start signing up? What happened after you got that landing page up?
Yes. So, and mind you, like now there's so many more social medias to lean on now, but
Yeah.
we had just put up a landing page. I put it on my Instagram. I put it on Craigslist,
Mm-hmm.
and we had generated over 500 people on the wait list. So many
Wow.
people understood and it was just the networking portion first. This wasn't even the gig board yet. The
Yeah.
gig board wasn't even an idea yet until I actually launched the app and
Mm-hmm.
people were like, this is cool to play around with, but like nobody wanted to pay for it yet. People didn't want
Mm.
to pay for it yet because there's not enough people on here, or
Yeah.
I don't see people in my city on here, or I can't find ways to make money on here. And then I was like, wait,
Mm.
the money part. What do you mean? Oh, it would be cool if like, yes, like this is cool. I love the fact that I can network with people, but I can do this part anywhere. Where can I wish I could find a gig on here. And I'm like, okay, it is
Wow.
not that hard to add a gig board, like a basic gig board on here.
Mm-hmm.
So then we added a gig board and I said, okay, where our standard price is usually 19.99, but because we're in beta and we need to get gigs on here and blah blah blah, let's just make a beta price 19 instead of 19.99 a month, 9.99 a month. And let's see how many people are actually clicking and generating revenue from this. We had a member that joined, and
Mm-hmm.
that same day, no, that same week, she got a $400 gig.
Let's go. Wow.
And I was like, wow, it works. Brands post for free.
Mm-hmm.
Creators pay to be a part of it, but that's great because the creators that are being a part of it, they're also verifying themselves with their credit card and everything. So
Mm.
it's also helping our verification process.
Yeah.
It's just making things easier and easier. And I'm like, I see the value in this. And also, it's no different than how Backstage charges people for acting gigs.
Yeah.
So sometimes when people are like, hey, how come it costs money? I'm like, well, outside of the regular marketing tech, blah, 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 that we have to pay people for, it's not unusual for
Mm-hmm.
people to pay for a membership to get access to things. You guys pay for the club to get access to the club. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You guys pay for liquor to get access to being lit. I'm giving
Mhm.
you guys access to gigs, and it's not that much money. You know what
I
I'm
love it.
saying? As in other people who are just like, oh, I'm paying for this. I see the value in this. Like, I don't even have to worry about them, right? So it's really great. And now we're moving forward with allowing people to directly get booked by
Okay.
October. So
Tell us more.
In October, people are actually going to be able to come onto the app and literally see
Mm.
four or five categories, right? DJs, photographers, videographers, influencers, and musicians.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be able to click on it, select the location that they're hired for, and a whole list of verified creators in that category will show up with their pricing, with their services,
Mm.
all right there for you. So no more with the, oh, I gotta figure out how much this person is, or if they're
Yeah.
available, or if they do this or do that. All of that
Solve
is
that
going
problem
to be gone.
right
You
away.
will be able to find exactly what you're looking for in your category right on the app, and we will continue building more and more filters every single month to find you what you need for each category.
I got so many questions for you. First, congratulations. I love the fact you
Thanks.
took action, you're building something, right? I'm excited to see
Mm-hmm.
what's gonna go in a year, 2 year from now. Question I
Yeah, me
have for
too.
you. What was because a lot of startups, their biggest challenge is capital. You
Yeah,
know, how did
yeah.
how did you go with that? How did you raise some capital? What
Mm-hmm.
happened there? Maybe you can give some tips that people can learn from.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned from everybody's no. Why didn't you choose me?
Ooh,
Oh, because
like
oh,
that.
because I don't invest in this industry, or oh, because I don't see a good market value. Or you have to listen to why people are saying no. Get out your feeling and
Mhm.
get in your bag for real.
Mm,
Like, because a lot of the people that say it's hard to raise capital are the same ones that are applying for jobs every day. If you
mm,
apply for 10 to 20 jobs per day, but you have a business, why aren't you also applying for 10 to 20 grants or
mhm,
investors per day? A
mhm,
rejection is a rejection. And when I started changing my thought process on applying for jobs versus applying for grants, or applying for pitch competitions, or
mhm.
applying for investors, I finally got one. And I just got declined from another one today that I really wanted. But guess what? They said why. I leaned in on
Yes.
the why. Oh, well, the reason why we're not investing in you is because you are currently in an accelerator, and we want to give capital to other Black founders that don't have funding. That's
Mm,
great, because guess what I'm going to do for the next person? I'm going to say, hey, go apply for this. I
yeah,
didn't get in because I already have funding and I'm in an accelerator program, but now opening another opportunity for somebody else.
yeah.
So, and someone also was able to do that for me. I am in Next Cubed. We're backed by Bank of America, North Carolina Invest, and
Mhm,
what's it called? And Next Cubed as well, and their HBCU Founders Fund. And we are also, the people that are in the accelerator are also able to refer other people. So if you are an HBCU founder and you have some kind of tech enabled platform that you're trying to raise funding for, please hit me up. Download my app first, but also hit me up,
I
because
love
I
the
would love
plug.
to see what you got going on and refer you. So that's number one. But just applying, like
Mhm.
the same way you apply for jobs. Like, don't get discouraged when you just don't get what don't get the funding, because
Yeah,
sometimes it is just based off of you're not the right fit. I have a creator economy platform. It's a marketplace on top of that. So
yeah,
if I'm a marketplace, why would I want to why would I apply for an investment from someone who only invests into AI? Like,
yeah.
you have to find your niche and get rich. That's what I call it.
Ooh, I
So
love those
my
little
niche,
Instagram quotes you say.
yeah, my niche is the creator economy. It's also marketplaces.
Yeah.
So when I'm online, every week I look up creator economy investors, or I look up marketplace investors. I
Mm,
aggregate a list, I save it, I see what they're looking for, and then I have to customize my pitch deck to make sure it fits what they're looking for, and then I send it out. But that's no
yep.
different than looking for a job and customizing your resume for the
Mm,
for the job that you want, right?
yeah.
So that's how I look at it as. And my goal from this conversation now in September to January is to raise another $500,000 in capital, and I believe I can do it.
Let's go. I love it. I love it. So tell us, right? Because as we're coming up with time, what is, one big mistake you made building this so far? What's one big lesson you've gotten?
Mm, I make mistakes every day. What's my favorite? Um, my big mistake that I made first as a marketplace founder was thinking too big and not thinking too small. So
Mhm.
ideally, and I'm doing fine with the transition, but my first thing was, oh, this is going to go worldwide. We can have anybody on here. The first thing I should have did was when I had the wait list, I should have connected with people and saw which city has the most pain points with the
Mm,
creator economy. So I'm going to be honest, the city that has the most pain points is usually New York. It's high cost of living.
yeah.
There's opportunities everywhere, but yet they're so fragmented that people can't find them half the time. So New
Mhm.
York would have been probably an ideal place to have launched at first.
Yeah.
But that is okay. It is one of our markets, and Miami's one of our markets too. So now we just focus on two main cities. It
Hmm.
doesn't mean that people can't post in other cities. It doesn't mean that we're not going to still send out those emails or whatever may be, because someone always might know someone in the Atlantas, in the
Yeah.
Dallases, in the LAs, Chicago's. But our dollars that we spend money on Facebook ads, Google ads, etc., we put that only in two cities, not
Gotcha.
just all around.
Gotcha. I love it.
Um,
So build
yeah, so
small first and then you
build
go to the
small,
big.
focus on a market. Another thing is even focusing on a category. We have five categories, but I
Mm-hmm.
probably should have started off with two, or one
Mm,
or two. I probably should have started off with photographers first, but we're still industry agnostic.
gotcha.
So just realizing what your niche is, who can you really serve the best, and that's why I love vegan restaurants, because they know
Mm,
exactly who their target is. Their
yeah.
target is vegans. So they're going to be running ads to vegans, but it doesn't mean that their friends that eat meat can't come through.
Yeah.
But
That's true.
that's just not their target market. That's why slutty vegans went crazy.
I
Like,
know.
because they entered a market where people were looking for
Mm-hmm.
vegan food, right? Tasty vegan food. But then guess what? Now other people were open to vegan food.
I
So
love it.
that's a similar thing.
Wow. Wow. So we're gonna have to have you come back for part two as your grade is.
You can
So
bring me up. I will be in Atlanta and even shoot. I'm happy
hey,
to
let me know. Let me know. All right. So
I'll pull up.
to kind of wrap things up, what is being a business owner and going through this journey? What is that one small biz tips you can share with
Hmm.
any entrepreneurs that you think can help them?
Yeah. I would say, when you start a business, be very careful who you hire and make
Hmm.
sure that they are smarter than you in something. Do not hire people that you just have to micromanage. Hire
Hmm.
people where you know that their zone of genius. So if their zone of genius is marketing, they damn sure better be a better marketer than you. Or if
Yeah.
it's sales, they better be a salesperson than you. Tech, whatever it may be, a chef for all I care.
Hmm.
They better cook better than you, but they need to be better than you, because if they're not, you're wasting your money.
Mm,
You're wasting your money. And don't try to scale too fast on your team. Scale your business first to the
Mm,
point where, okay, maybe your team can't handle it anymore and now you have to get a new person.
mm,
I maximize, and I don't say this in a capitalist way, but I maximize my employees what's it called, strengths and weaknesses, you
gotcha.
know, like if they're, even if they're not good at something but they're really strong at something else, I can help them with that. But
Yeah.
I won't outsource another thing just because they need to grow in that area. They can grow right here.
Mm-hmm.
And we can get it going. But
I love it.
don't just get funding, especially, or a grant especially, and be so quick to outsource it. I still do a lot of work. I still construct some emails.
Yeah.
I still make marketing content. I still go out there and do street interviews and invite people to our podcast coming up. Like, I do a lot of work that if I outsourced it, that's probably gonna be $300 to $500 a month. And until it gets to the point where I cannot focus on this, I'm
Yeah.
gonna continue to focus on this. I still wake up at 6 a.m. and start working all the way until 7 p.m. Like, I will maximize my day. I have breaks in between and all that stuff,
Nice.
but it's just so important to realize this is your business and nobody's coming here to save you.
Mm,
Like, so make sure that you maximize everybody on their team, including yourself, and stop wasting your money on trying to get someone to do something that you can already do.
I love it. This is fantastic. How do people reach you if they want to jump on Gem Social? How do they get access to it? Give us the deets.
Yes. So right now we are available on iPhone. We are submitting our app to Google Play Store sometime
Mhm.
next week. You can find us on the App Store though. Gem Social is Jem. A lot of people do the G. I know, I understand. I wanted the G so bad, but it's Jem
Mhm.
space social. You can find us on Instagram at Gem Social app. Is Jem Social app. You can also
Mhm.
find me directly if you ever have any questions or want to sit with me about your business. My Instagram is Bree Flemings. It's BreeFlemings. You can find
Mhm.
me everywhere at Bree Flemings on LinkedIn, Twitter threads, Instagram, TikTok, MySpace, anything.
I love it. This MySpace still around.
MySpace still around, and I'm probably still Bree Flemings on there.
I love it. I love it. Wow, Bree, this was fantastic. Thank you for jumping on. Guys, definitely check out the app.
Thanks for
I
having
recently
me.
just signed up on it and I'm loving it so far. So thank you for jumping on.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'll be back, and I'll be in your city.
Let's go.
Let's go.